Wait, hold up. Tatsuya straight up screams some dude's head off. Dude just straight up screamed and the guy head just exploded. Like, what? Like, and all the guys are like, what the hell just happened there? He can't be human. He's got to be a monster. And I'm like, okay, we're finally, I guess, there's no way he's not an isekai at this point. I mean, Tera legit summoned a sword from another world. So we're at least, confirming that idea that these goddesses can summon things from other worlds. So yeah, it kind of lines up that Tatsuya could technically be an isekai. He could have been pulled from another world. And my gosh, I want his story now. Like, there was a pain in his scream at the end. There was a legit scream of pain after he killed all those dudes. I know this guy's going to be like, he was summoned from another world and summoned away from his family or something like that, and he's just in pain. He wants to go back home, and now he's stuck in this whole, like, loop of dying and losing his mind more and more. Like, there's going to be suffering. I just feel like Tatsuya's story is going to be nothing but suffering, but damn. Or he could be a female from another world because he just screamed some dude's head off. I'm just joking. Don't cancel me. Don't cancel me. People are going to make that joke. I might as well make the joke so that you all can get ready for it. But anyways, episode 6 of Sentence to Be a Hero, pretty awesome episode. I pretty much confirmed a lot of the speculation that I had throughout the entire series. I mean, besides the whole, like, speculating on Tatsuya being isekai, but, like, getting into the factions. We're actually solidifying the idea that it's not necessarily that the people that are actually, wanting the Blight to coexist, that they're, like, sort of infiltrating, but that there's actually separate factions, which happens when you infiltrate, you create a faction. It's a step process here, but it's kind of going the route that they're going to be an entire faction, and that faction doesn't like Xylo. And now we're confirming as well that this other guy, this glasses guy that's a part of the temple, he seems like he is, like, to my theory, he's supporting them. That yes, the heroes are their trump card. For this guy and his group, they're his trump card. They're taking these people that are very talented and they're sending them off to be heroes. Why would they do that when they can potentially be a threat to the Blight? They're doing that because they don't like the group that likes the Blight. Bingo. Confirm right there. It's confirmed right there. And this guy's even here to tell Xylo, be careful, dude. Don't draw too much attention. Don't give them an excuse to erase you, basically. Like, I'm going to assume that this glasses guy and his groups that don't like this whole, like, coexisting with the Blight thing, they're probably, like, trying to, keep them away from Xylo and them. No, they're doing a lot of work. Don't get rid of them yet. Guys, stop making them mad too much. We like what you're doing. But we can't keep telling them not to kill you. Eventually, we're going to get outvoted. I think it's going a route like that, which is really, really interesting. But anyways, let's go with the episode proper like I typically do, scene by scene, and so I don't forget anything. But yes, opening up the episode, we have the appearance of the archers. It seems like Kivia herself, it mentions that they look like they're probably from some noble family. Like they're from an army of some noble family, and apparently that group is getting in with these actual Blight. We also have the mention from Tera that specifically goddesses cannot bring harm to humans. It's one of those sad assumptions that you have with a story like this, that there's going to be some sort of safeguard there that makes them to where they can't harm humans or something like that. Otherwise, you could just go into... It basically protects you from being able to say, well, let's just take Tera and just take out the temple and the military. Oh, they can't do that because there's that little, barrier, that code right there they can't get past, which... I don't know, they could potentially get around eventually. I mean, what's the chances of somebody like Pelmeri, potentially creating a fog of poison? It can't really stop a lot of things like winds from carrying that poison to kill people. Anyways, I'm thinking too much into this. But yes, Tera says that this sucks because if they're able to communicate with humans and they get involved with the humans, I can't do anything. So, I mean, Xylo's response is fine enough. I'll take care of the humans. You take care of the Blights. It's that simple. But yeah, something else was brought up in this scene that's kind of important, and I'll admit, it's not really as deep as I was kind of hoping it to be. It feels very surface level at this point, so there could be more to it. That specifically, Tera points out the hypocrisy in him. Hey, you keep telling me not to be reckless, you keep telling me not to do things, but you're doing it. You're just rushing out there. Are you really okay with this? You keep saying don't gamble your life, and you're gambling all the time. Well, it's because they can bring me back. No, that's not it. You do that anyways. There's something else here. The reason why you don't like us, goddess, is because we are the same as you. You can't not help people. When you see people in danger, you want to help them. You constantly want to put your life at risk. That's why you don't like us, because we're coded to do that. That's our nature, and thus you don't like that. You see your reflection in us. And yes, he confirms that later on. Like I said, I hope there's more to it than just this. I see that it's kind of implying the idea that it's not necessarily that he's like, I want to be a good man, I want a great fight and all that kind of stuff. I think it's guilt. It's obviously seemingly guilt. Now, this is all predicated on when he became to have this nature. Has he always been like this? Has he always been a chivalrous person that just in his own nature he wants to help people? Again, I think that would be really shallow if that was the case. Not shallow that it's a bad thing, but it's just shallow in writing. I think it might be a little bit more interesting if it does get the idea of guilt, which is equally as kind of tropish, but it could open the door to, a lot of other things. A little bit of a breakdown moment for the character, and the idea that the only reason that he is this way is because Sonerva. Because Sonerva, he wants to essentially do something. Because he blames himself for not protecting Sonerva, he wants to essentially protect people. He wants to make his life worth her saving. She went out there and pushed herself to save us and ended up dying. She sacrificed herself for us. And thus, I want to not let that go to waste. Even though he's technically doing that by running out there recklessly over and over and over and over again. But again, it plays into it because, again, he wants to have value. He wants to prove that that wasn't worth nothing. So I see the direction it's going. It's fine. Again, I hope there's a little bit more to it than just that, but it does technically explain a lot to why Xylo is so angry about it. It's more than just, again, him not wanting Tera to end up like Sonerva. It's more himself. It's his own nature in a sense. But anyways, yes, they go off, and at the same time, we see a lot of people fighting, including Tatsia, like I said. The humans go downstairs, down into the tunnels, and I like how Venetum is like, oh my gosh, somebody come down here and help me. It's like, dude, you got Tatsia with you. And sure enough, somebody's like, dude, you got Tatsia with you. It's okay. And again, Tatsia just straight up screams. Dude's head just explodes. He just jumps off the wall, starts hacking people down. I'm like, what is this? Like, what are we doing right now? Like, again, I like Tatsuya as a character because he's a berserker character. Ever since, like, I don't know, Record of Lotus Wars, like, I like that, berserker character that just is all about just raw strength and just destroy everything in front of them. That kind of thing. Tatsuya is that character, so I kind of like that whole idea. But again, there's, like, added elements here to the idea of, like, literally, it's got to mean that he has some sort of, like, inscription in his throat or something like that. Like, you maybe had Norgal put something on his throat or in his lungs or something like that allows him to project some sort of magic. Just like Xylo is able to put magic into his weapons and throw them and explode, it's got to be that Tatsuya has it like in his lungs or his throat or something like that, and he's literally just, he's casting mana. Their type of mana, I forget exactly what it's called. Their mana out into his throat, but that's crazy. That was absolutely crazy when that happened. I was like, oh, okay. Dude's head just exploded. But again, like I said earlier, that pain after he was done, it implies to me that there's something he's left behind if he is actually summoned to this world. Or, again, to the original theory that probably the reason why he was sentenced to be a hero is because somebody murdered his family and he was, like, framed for it. Or he did something that caused their death and he's just broken. He's a broken... I'm going to assume he's probably a father. I'm assuming that he is a broken father. And it's going to, like I said... I think we're going to get to it soon because we've gotten everybody else's character except for Tatsuya. We haven't seen Tatsuya's backstory. I mean, we still got Norgal as well, but we've kind of hinted a lot about Norgal's backstory. We've got a lot of kind of hints there and there. We got most into Dota and Venetum and Sfaz. So, I don't know. Maybe eventually we'll get into Tatsuya next. That would be, again, it's going to hurt. I think it's going to hurt. We'll see, though. We see Xylo in the battlefield. They fight some boar. Eventually gets grabbed by a worm. He tells her to get away from there because she can't use her powers yet. And then, yes, all the forces show up. Okay, first of all, yes, my assumption here, I knew that Venetum was probably going to call them to come down there. I just kind of knew that family was going to end up getting involved. Whoever that group was that wanted to get involved that Xylo didn't want to see. Sure enough, Venetum's like, you knew I wasn't going to tell you if I was actually going to do it. I knew he was going to do it. And it seemed like, kind of a given there. But additionally, Dota. I have to admit that was kind of stupid. I have to admit that was super stupid and cheesy. Like the fact that, yes, you told me to go steal money and then use it to buy mercenaries. So I thought I'd just skip one step and just steal the money from the mercenary. I'm like, he must have grabbed like their entire life savings if they're gonna chase him into the battlefield with the blight. Now, granted, I don't really get a sense of like how much all of mankind fears the blight. There could be some people that know how to navigate the blight, and they just know that the blight always goes for key points, and so they can kind of get around them. But why would you come charging after a thief when you see a blight demon lord right in front of you and fairies everywhere? I just don't see it. It was like super cheesy, but anyways, it was enough to cause that confusion. Demon lords going crazy. And then, yes, we have Tera summon a massive sword and drive it down the thing. Before Xylo does the weathering seals, brings it down to the ground, has Tera summon a whole bunch of Gilgamesh swords out of her little treasury, and it sprays a bunch of daggers, which Xylo shields her. I hope they don't do this too often, but yeah, Xylo right here kind of seeing that Tera has obviously used a lot of power. She summoned a massive sword, and then she summoned a whole bunch of other swords, and then had to drive them down into the Demon Lord just to bring it down and make it submit. He's saying that she's used up all of her energy, and it's implying the fact that she is at her limit at this point. Like I said, I hope this doesn't happen too often, where it feels like this is going to be the point in which she pushed herself too far, and then we're going to have to see if he can somehow pull her out of it, or if the blight's going to overtake her or something like that. I don't want this continuous flag to happen is really what I'm getting at. He's saying that she's at her limit, but we still see like later on, she summons this sword from another world that is incredibly powerful, and she doesn't lose herself. So it's like, what is the read here? What is the read here? I guess I can go back to the idea that it's just really Xylo being like overly careful about her limits. But even still, it's like he's telling her to leave and that she shouldn't get involved. And yet all it really takes her to step up and say, well, I'm going to fight alongside you. And all you have to do is just make sure that I don't get hurt. You protect me. If you don't want me to die, then protect me. And he's like, okay, sure, shrug. Like, he just got done saying, you're at your limit. Get the hell out of here. Well, I'm going to join you. Okay. It's like, why are we acting like we're not going to let her get involved? We want her to get out of here. We're afraid of her turning into another Sinerva. And then all it takes is for her to say, I'm going to stand at your side. All right, Aibo. All right, my friend. Let's go out there and fight. Best friendo. It's kind of dorky. But yes, that's when we have Tera summon. I thought it was going to be Excalibur. Something that can literally, it's a holy sword. I think it was the holy sword part from another world. It was like, okay, it's got to be Excalibur. But no, a sword from another world that can pretty much destroy anything. And I think he also said that it wouldn't decay or something like that. But yeah, it seemed to imply this sword, when he did stab the monster with it, it created a void. It looked like it was creating a void that he had to kind of unlock, and it just sucked everything into it, which was pretty cool. Oh, yeah, I almost forgot. In order for Tera to summon this massive sword that is like the ultimate weapon, she had to take her cloak off first. The dramatic cloak removal. All right, let me summon this thing. And it also actually looked like she almost unsheathed it, which was kind of cool. I thought the whole effect was great. I do kind of appreciate the fact that, yes, it took so long for them to actually summon it. The dude, like, literally almost dies. He gets impaled and arm bit and everything like that. But yeah, Xylo ends up passing out, and he wakes up into the medical area where he's alone with Glasses Guy. And like I said, pretty much confirmed a lot of the speculation that was building about this whole situation. This guy seems very friendly with Xylo. And again, I'm not going to say he's going to be their ally. And even he says it. I'm your ally, but I won't force you to call me that. I'm helping you out here. I've helped you recover. You're going to lose a little bit of memories. You don't have to go to the repair shop, but, you know, we're kind of working together with each other. Again, I think this is an element where there is a mutual thing here. This guy is potentially one of the reasons why all of them are being sent out to be heroes. But again, I think that is an element that he's trying to get these people that are very talented. Again, mind you, talented. Venetem's extremely talented and knows too much. Again, Sav. This guy is a massive threat to this group. He's a massive threat to the Blight because he's so powerful. This guy can't be working for the Blight faction if he's sending Sav off like this. They want to get rid of Sav immediately. This guy is not their friend, but it's sort of a, you know, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. I have these individuals that want the Blight to kind of be alongside us, and I don't want that, so I want you guys to go out there and kill the Blight. And again, like he says right here, don't, you know, disobey orders too many times. You're getting a lot of attention. See, the villagers right here are nice, and they want to send you this stuff, but there's also people at the temple and the military that are noticing you guys as well. Don't break the rules too many times, because we can't forever keep them from voting you to be killed. So, you know, mind yourself a little bit there. I was hoping there'll be a little bit more, you know, revealed right here, but at least it specifically does specify there is a faction. It is an actual faction that they are, confirming here. If this faction is public or not, that's the question mark. But he's claiming that he knows of at least a faction that is the coexisters. They want to coexist with this blight. And so again, it all kind of lines up here, and it probably will fit in with these nobles that potentially sent these archers out there to sabotage them, all that stuff. So, but yeah, as he goes to leave, he says Tereta can go in there. I felt pretty bad right here. Tereta running in there, and for a brief moment, he sees Cernerva, and he's completely shocked. And Tereta at the same time, I wish they kind of portray this a little bit better here, but it's implying the fact that Tereta seen this look on his face and assume that he lost his memories. Because yes, like the guy said, you may have experienced some memory loss. I think there probably could have been an interesting thing here to sort of have him keep the vision of Cernerva for a while until it finally reveals that, no, he didn't forget Tereta, and have Tereta suddenly appear or something like that. Because again, that seems to be what's implying, is that she thinks that he forgot her, and she's terrified of that. It does kind of make me wonder, and yeah, yes, Tereta has sort of, created a bond with Xylo already. She really likes him. She's obviously concerned for him. It's her knight. And it does seem like she's willing to die at his side. She sees the value in him, sees that he's always looking out for her, always saying, don't put yourself in danger. I think she likes that. And I do think this is sort of opening the door to two possibilities for a potential showing of maybe her previous knight. They might get into eventually this idea of us seeing Tereta in a previous life or previous waking up, and potentially their previous owner was a bad person. Their previous owner could have forgotten them, something like that. So it could either be this thing of like, don't forget me because I've been forgotten before. Don't forget me because us goddesses, every time we go to sleep, everyone forgets us. We wake up to a foreign world again. It could get that idea. That's why she's so afraid of Xylo forgetting her. Or it could go into an idea of she appreciates Xylo so much. She's so attached to Xylo because her previous experiences weren't that great. She's been a goddess to a knight that's a dirtbag or something like that. You never know. It'd be interesting to get into. But yeah, he's like, I haven't forgot you. And then we finally get it, bros. We finally get it. We finally get it. A head pat. We finally get a head pat. Xylo finally gives her a head pat. Long overdue head pats. It's so dumb that it's like, oh yeah, that's right. I had to remind myself at the end of the episode, oh, that's right. He isn't really a head patter much at all. Ever, really. Crazy. Anyways, I think that's pretty much it in the episode. Some really great shots of Norgal as well. I always appreciate Norgal. Norgal's always freaking awesome. I seen a meme that said, like, Kivia was yelling orders out to Xylo, and Xylo's like, shut up, noble woman, I won't ever listen to your orders. And then suddenly Norgal's like, hey, Xylo, go out there right now. And he's like, yes, my king, I will do it forever for you. It's so great. I even had in this episode the fact that, yeah, at some point Venetum's like, dude, you're not a freaking noble. Shut up. You're not a king. You're not going to order me around. Norgal just completely ignores it. Norgal just completely ignores his little whip back. Again, I think that's why Xylo just goes along with it. He just knows you can't fight it. Like, Venetum's like, no, you're not my king. And Xylo's like, whatever, dude. Yeah, yes, king. Sure. It's like, Xylo's the type of person that just knows you just got to play into it. If you want to get anything out of this Norgal guy, you just got to play into it. It's just how he is. That's how he's wired, unfortunately. Anyways, that's my thoughts on episode 6 of Sentenced to be a Hero. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as always. If you did, hit the like button down below. I appreciate you guys' support. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought of the episode. But until next time, y'all take care.